Global warming deniers, otherwise known as the field of candidates running for the presidential Republican nomination, they now have the EPA apparently as the new whipping boy amongst this crew. It's amazing the things that are coming out of their mouth. What Rick Perry had to say yesterday, that he thinks that scientists are manipulating the climate science data to make money.
Which is, of course, completely untrue. I think he's referring back to the so-called Climate Gate scandal, in which scientists' emails were hacked, stolen, and then taken out of context to make it look like scientists had manipulated the data. But multiple independent scientific inquiries have cleared all of those scientists of any wrongdoing and of all scientific misconduct. This simply isn't true.
At the same time, Rick Perry's own state is one of the worst, suffering from the effects of climate change, global warming. We've been talking about record heat, record drought down there in Texas, and now the losses to crops, cattle, and so forth are predicted to be more than $20 billion, even while Rick Perry is out there saying that, it costs too much money to do anything about global warming, which he says is just a theory and not proven at all.
Probably it's a good time to note that Perry's biggest campaign donors up to now have been the oil and gas industry.
Who could have guessed it?
2011 has indeed broken the record for record-breaking weather. It's only August, and we've already tied the current record for the most billion-dollar weather disasters that was set back in 2008. So far, there have been 9 separate disasters topping $1 billion in losses, and so far, those losses from floods, tornadoes, and heat waves has hit a total of $35 billion for the entire United States. And our hurricane season hasn't even started yet. National Weather Service and NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, on Wednesday launched a new public awareness campaign to educate Americans on how to be better prepared for more violent weather, because they say this is the new normal. Climate scientists have long predicted that global warming will lead to an increase in more frequent and extreme weather events, and they really want people to be more prepared. And we should also be clear that while all of the major Republican candidates for the 2012 election are climate change deniers, they're not all deniers to the same extent. Perry, Bachmann, and the rest say it's a conspiracy and a hoax, but Mitt Romney and John Huntsman acknowledge the scientific fact that global temperatures are rising, but they flip-flopped on their earlier positions and now say we shouldn't do anything about it.
The oft-ignored Ron Paul also acknowledges that there are, in fact, anomalies in the weather that can't be explained, but he, too, thinks the EPA should be put out of business, that should be handled by the courts and by the companies who are actually the polluters. This plays very well in the Republican primary, Des, but will it play well in a general election?
Well, the polls pretty much say no. Generally, Americans like the EPA. They trust the EPA and other scientific federal agencies.
This may cause a real problem for whoever the eventual nominee is in the Republican Party in the general election.